This is Tracy Bear, and I am with Pearl. Today it's November 28th, and I am in Vancouver. Yeah, so, well, just get started, and thank you so much for participating. And
Yes.
Did you have any questions about the consent form?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. And just so you know, we are taping this, and we keep these for, and it can be anonymous or not, whatever your sheet says that you want it to be. And we keep it, all of our stuff for like 5 years locked up, and then we destroy it. And after, of course, we write about it. And if you want to stay anonymous, that's perfectly fine.
Okay.
If there's any questions that you don't want to answer, just say pass, and we'll move on to the next one. If you want more clarification, like it's the question you don't get what I'm asking, just say I don't get it, and I'll explain it to you more.
Okay.
And at any time you want to stop the interview, that's also fine too by us. Don't want to make people extremely uncomfortable in this. That's the last thing I want to do as a Indigenous woman.
Okay.
About 40 minutes, yeah?
Sure.
Okay. So first question, these are just demographics. How do you identify as Indigenous? Like, for example, I'm Cree. Some people call me Indigenous or Aboriginal or First Nations, but I just like to say I'm Cree.
Well, yeah, that's what I like to say First Nations, me.
Yeah.
Yeah, or I'm Soto, right?
Oh, you're
It's similar to Ojibwe, that's what I say, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's where, because I'm from Manitoba, right?
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've been here for over 40 years, right?
Oh, okay. So this is your home now.
This is my home now, yeah. But I go home once in a while to
Oh, you do?
Manitoba. Like, I got a brother there still, right?
Oh, okay. When's the last time you got to go out?
I went there this summer. I went out there for a while.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I was there for a month.
Oh, nice.
And they own their own house, and they're pretty well off. They worked all their lives. They don't drink or they don't smoke or nothing, right?
Yeah.
He's married to an English woman,
Oh, okay.
so that's all they do is work. And
That's how I feel sometimes too, but at least I love my job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you identify with a specific gender category? Male, female?
Yeah, consider myself a female.
All right. And how about sexuality? Do you identify with any sexuality?
Yeah, I only go out with men, right?
Okay. Heterosexual.
Yeah.
There's a whole list here too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your age?
I'm 63.
63. You look good for 63.
I know that's a lot of people say. You don't even look like you're 63.
No, you don't.
No.
And where do you currently live? Like your
I
city?
live right on downtown East Side, right on Hastings.
Okay. Vancouver.
Yeah.
We're interested in your work experience. So what kinds of things have you done in your life, and what do you do currently?
I started working when I was 16. They used to have this program in a drop-in center. I used to work for the Winnipeg, what do you call that? Parks and Board.
Oh.
I used to work in the parks and look after the children. And then I used to work in a factory, like a vegetable factory where you just bag it and that.
Oh, yeah.
And that's it. And then I used to live in Bella Bella.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, and I used to work in a fish cannery down there.
Oh, okay. How long did you do that for?
Oh, maybe about 3-4 years. Yeah.
That sounds like hard work.
It is. It's cold in there too, right?
Oh, I don't like being cold.
Yeah, but I was young then, right? That's when I first had my first child, right?
Yeah.
And I was only 21, 22, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and then I quit that, and then I volunteer now, right? I volunteer at the Women's Center.
Oh, okay.
I volunteer in the kitchen.
Oh.
I've been there about 10 years now, so
Oh, okay.
I
So-
like that, right? It gives me something to do, right? Instead of sitting around doing nothing, right? So I volunteer about four times a week. I volunteer at the downtown
okay.
East Side.
And what exactly do you do in the kitchen?
I'm mostly the dishwasher. I do food prep. I'll make sure the coffee and tea is, the filters are, what do you call it? And I do the boxes, like to get boxes, right? And sweep the floor,
Okay. Making sure everything's running tickety-boo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we serve a lot of women down there, close to about 300 women a day for food, right?
300 women a
Yeah.
day?
Yeah, close to 300. Yeah.
Is that all meals or is that
That's
one
all
meal?
meal.
Wow.
We only do lunch, right? So,
Oh, okay. Okay.
yeah.
So 300 lunches a day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Close to 300 anyway.
How many people work with you?
There's usually 2 cooks, and we can get up to 4 volunteers. So there's about 5, 6 of us in the kitchen. So, but sometimes there's only maybe 4 of us. Sometimes, right?
Oh yeah. Do you guys do anything special for like the holidays?
Sometimes, yeah, we have like we have a harvest dinner in the fall, and then we have a Christmas party,
Oh yeah.
and then we have a spring dinner or 2, and
Yeah. Yeah.
so that's pretty good.
Yeah. That sounds good. It sounds like a fulfilling job.
Yeah,
Something
I
that.
enjoy it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's better than getting into trouble or sitting in the bar, right? So,
Yes. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. So this project is searching and looking for what resilience means to Indigenous women and for Indigenous women, and then looking at the ways that we show strength, the ways that we show courage, and all the things that we have to deal with in our life. And so a broad definition, like I said, is a positive adaptation to a negative life experience. But what does that mean specifically for Indigenous people? I think it's different than non-Indigenous people. So there's no right or wrong answer. So I'll just start with my questions on resilience.
okay.
There can be many areas in our lives that demonstrate resilience. This could be work in the visual arts, so being an artist and expressing yourself, writing, volunteer work, dance, food, cooking, hunting or fishing, or even exercise, kickboxing could be. So what practices play a role in your resilience?
Well, I volunteer, right?
Yeah.
And then, like my kids work, like my son, he works, right? He works for Rain City. That's through BC Housing. They started that about 5 years ago. They worked for Atira first, like my daughter-in-law.
Yeah.
I have a friend that works for Atira, and she told me you should go work for Atira. She said they're looking for more Native women, right?
Yeah.
So I went to my son and my daughter-in-law, and I told, Atira is looking for workers. I said, like the desk clerk or even just to clean up or whatever, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So my son went there first. They hired him right on the spot, right? Because he's a big guy, right?
Yeah.
So he did that for about 4 years.
Yeah.
And then my daughter-in-law went about 2 weeks later, and then they hired her. So they've been working for 5 years. And that makes me really proud of them, right? They got themselves off welfare,
Yeah.
and they work, and I'm really proud of them. And then their oldest son, he'll be 21 tomorrow. My grandson, it's his birthday tomorrow.
Ah.
He took a culinary class, so he's working in a restaurant too, right? So they all 3 of them work, right?
Nice.
So
Nice.
I'm so proud of my kids that they work, and they're so happy, and they're more happier that way, and so are the kids, right? Because they have more money instead of waiting for a welfare check every month, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm so proud of that, right?
Yeah.
I love that. I'm so happy that they're working, right? And they got themselves off welfare.
Absolutely.
That's what I tell a lot of people. You should tell your kids to go to work, instead of hang around downtown and or get an education, right?
That's another thing.
Yeah, because my grandson just graduated last year and he's only 16 years old, right?
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's really smart.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what he's gonna be up to after?
He wants to be a teacher.
Nice.
He said,
Nice.
I want to be a teacher, but I don't want to teach in Canada, he said.
Oh.
I want to go to Europe or else New Zealand or Australia, he said.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I told him, good. I said, that way, take advantage of traveling the world while you're still young, too, right?
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah. Yeah.